Hello everyone, I am Steni and I have recently completed my MBA. To do or not to do an MBA, honestly, this question stayed with me for a long time and I don't think there is a one size fits all answer. But here is what I think about it. With respect to my profile, I did my bachelor's in English literature and worked in IT for about 2.5 years. When I was working, I realized I was in the execution side of the business. I wanted to shift to the strategic side and I wanted to understand how businesses actually work in the other side, that is, the people, strategy, and decisions. With some research, I realized that doing an MBA would provide me the opportunities and knowledge required for the switch. But again, I had lot of confusion. Like, is it worth the money? Will I actually grow or just get a degree? Should I continue gaining work experience? And there were moments where I questioned if I even needed it. What really changed things for me after talking with few people who did MBA was understanding that an MBA is not just about the degree. It's about exposure, shift in mindset, the learning journey, and opportunities. I realized that if I use it right, it can accelerate my growth. Talking about my MBA journey, it wasn't just classes and exams. It was presentations, teamwork, deadlines, networking, and honestly, a lot of self discovery. It really changed how I think, how I communicate, and how I handle situations. Before joining, one of my biggest fears was, will I fit in with people from such diverse backgrounds? Because in an MBA, you are surrounded by people with different experiences, perspectives, and personalities. But that turned out to be the biggest learning. You don't just learn from professors, you learn from people around you. And that's what really builds your confidence and perspective. And one myth I had was that MBA guarantees success. But in reality, it doesn't. What actually matters is your communication, your problem solving ability, and how you work with people. Placements are really competitive. It's not just about the CGPA, it's about consistency, preparation, and how you present yourself. A typical day during my MBA was really hectic, and that's where I learned to work with different kinds of people, managing my time, and thinking on my own feet. So, should you do an MBA? From my experience, don't do it just because it's a trend or the next step. Do it if you're looking for clarity, growth, and a shift in the career or mindset. Also, MBA is not the only way. You can grow through experience, certifications, and other paths too. But MBA is just a structured way to accelerate that journey. After MBA, life definitely changes. There are better opportunities financially, but also more responsibility. Your thinking becomes more strategic. You stop reacting and start analyzing. And success, earlier it was just about salary. Now it was about growth, impact, and long term learning. So, was my MBA worth it? Yes. Not because of the degree, but because of the person I became through the journey. Thank you.